Hello, King. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Well, good morning.
King,
How's
how are
everything?
you? Did you sleep well last night?
Yes, I did actually. How was it? And you?
Yes. Yes, I did, my brother.
We slept late. After we left, you went to Darkman's page. Even me, I didn't even know when I slept off. I just know I was in the page and I left. I slept off.
I know, I understand. You
But it
know?
was nice anyway. That was where we got
Yes.
to understand Belia. What's her name? Belia now.
Legion of Demons.
Religion of Demons, exactly. Yeah, it was not funny, and we debated. We debated.
Hmm.
We debated. Another person even came. What's his name? Abati.
Yeah, but and Smile.
Yeah, he came. He was also an agnostic. He was arguing with you and Bella. We are all in support of. They don't know God exists. They don't know this. They don't know. Like, people don't know. Then why you? Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. But this topic you tasted now. You know, this was what we were talking about yesterday. Me and what's that? Soft or what?
Yes.
And soft, yeah.
Yes.
When she came up with the discussion of Satan is God or something like that.
Satan is God has a very unique doctrine. Good morning,
No,
symbiotic. Welcome.
like it's
Good
not
morning,
the guy.
my brother host. Good morning, King Diego.
Symbiotic. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. This round you are the first to come up today. I hope you have a better argument.
Symbiotic, don't worry, we are here together. We will flow.
Okay.
Symbiotic, who is your gym coming up? Your exercise.
When is one what?
Your gym, the one that you and that man is involved in.
Yeah. I'm actually working out very well. It's just that my problem is my foot, my legs. I have these chicken legs. So that man gave me some. That man gave me some routines, some workout routines, and I've been trying it. And I hope it will work out. Yeah.
Okay.
You know that
Thank
we
you
Africans. You know that we Africans, we are not endowed with the legs. You hardly see an African that has You hardly see an African that has full legs, like the head, the legs will full, a kind of. Yeah.
Wow.
Symbiotic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What do you think you have for this topic? Because you seem like you came prepared.
For me, any topic doesn't matter for me.
Do you think it's a setup? Let's even play around the topic before people come around. Do you think this is a setup, or you don't think it is?
No, it's not a setup.
Why do you think so?
The people involved were created perfect. Adam and Eve was created perfect, and you know that they failed an exam. You cannot say that a teacher set up a student. It's not a setup.
Yeah, even an exam is a setup. Do you know that?
No, it's not. It's not a setup. Exam is for you to.
They set up the exam for you. It's a setup. It's not you that design the exam. They set it up for you.
Yeah, but that exam is to prove your knowledge.
Okay, yes. That's why I say it's a setup. Because they're trying to prove something.
Yeah, it's a test to prove your knowledge. And
on the contrary, again, if something is predestined, don't you think it's set up already?
No, it's not predestined. There's nothing like a predestination when it comes to
It's
God
already
and
for something to be a setup. That means it has been predestined to be like that. That's what I'm saying.
no. Do you mean that a teacher have already predestined the result of the
The
student?
exam. So the exam,
Yeah.
he has predestined the exam because it's a scheme of work that, or even the next set of students that will come to his class, he will write the same exam. So it's a predestined exams. It's not something like out of the box. It's the same exam they gave the last set. If you go and read the same book, it's the same exam they still give you. It's nothing
Okay.
outside the field of work. Yes.
Okay. The result of the student, is it a predestined?
If the result of the students are predestined,
No, I
those ones
disagree.
are not predestined now. The result of the student is not predestined. I'm talking of the exam.
Yeah,
What?
but
That's
the exam, the exam serves as a template for everyone. So the result depends on the student, not on the teacher. The outcome of your test depends on the student, not on the teacher. The teacher have done his work by setting the exam. Then whether the student fail or pass the exam is within the student's ability. And that's exactly what God did. God set a standard, and then the people involved, Adam and Eve, they could not pass that exam.
okay. Now this God that sets this exam, is he an all-knowing God? First of all, is he an all-knowing God? And if yes or no, how manage he is now asking a question of something he already planned out to do. He wants this thing to happen like this. Then later on, when they started doing according to you, the students can write the exam and pass. Teacher does not know if the student will pass or not. So this your God now finally gave the exam to some people, but he doesn't know if they will pass. He's not asking them a question. That exam I gave you, did you pass it? Something that he's the one that's supposed to mark the script and know who passed or not. He's not asking the student if the student passed.
Well,
So this
there is.
So this question comes back to the apple. When they ate the apple, why was he asking them, Adam and Eve, where are you? Have you eaten out of the fruit of the good and evil, or knowledge and yes? So why is he asking them that question?
Well, that God is all-knowing doesn't mean that He predicts the outcome of what happened. So it's like, He have given them that test, but even though He's all-knowing, but He just chooses not to know in that regard, because
Why
He
would
wants
he
them
choose
to
not?
use their ability.
You understand the word all-knowing? You can't choose to know or know when you are the all-knowing. You already
Yeah.
know. You know. You can't unknow it.
Yeah, He's all-knowing, but His all-knowing does not affect the choice that these individuals make.
No, it's not about him the thing affecting the choice of the individual. It's about him that is all knowing, acting like he doesn't know. He's not asking a question that he already knows the outcome according to him being the unknowing. He knows that this fruit I kept here, they will eat it. But he kept it there in the name of let me see what they will do. Then when they now ate it, instead of it to say, I know you have eaten this fruit, he's now asking them, where are you? All those things are questions and are based on ignorance. So he's asking them, where are you? We are naked, we are this. Have you eaten out of the fruit of the good and evil and knowledge? They said yes. On their acknowledging their error, instead of him to say, oh, so you ate it, they were actually honest. But he punished them. So is it not a setup?
No, it's not set up. There's no setup
Okay.
there. You know,
So
it's
you
just
have to
that
tell me why it's not set up.
why it's not set up is that he gave them a guideline. There is a guideline. They have many choices to take, but he said, "You see this one, don't touch it. Don't even near it. The day you eat from it, this and this will happen to you." It was a clear. It was a clear command. It was a clear statement.
Oh, success. Good morning, success.
Today when una bring me come up, you sure say the thing go work? I know they like insult. When we say program what I they do, anything what I talk follow. Where person know to learn anything, lies to follow, truth to follow. Program wouldn't they make sense. I mean they like them.
Good morning. Success,
Good morning.
Long time.
Success, be coming down, Return, I'll be watching your name. Be coming down.
All right, Success, good morning, welcome. Anyway, we'll enlighten you about the show. So, Steve Biotic,
I know the program very well. The man is not even making anything where he talk now, he go say not true. Just talk anything now, he go say not true. So you know that makes sense.
You mean Symbiotic?
Why I go say whether I'm you? Do I know him? Why this
I
a
just want to
return?
be sure what he's talking about.
I know
Anyways,
he don't know me. He know me now.
Who are you talking with? Who are you talking to?
who are you talking
No
to?
be faith on faith that now success is fearless be this. You don't know me.
I know you now.
I know
And
you.
I say you don't know me.
I don't know you. Who are you? Can you introduce yourself?
That one concern you. If you don't know me, forget them now.
Okay, so Success, I was trying to ask Symbiotic something. Let me land.
Let's see what ask.
Symbiotic, I want-
First of all, Success. Are you a believer?
Believe on what?
Do you believe in God?
I don't believe in anything.
Are you a ritualist?
Like everybody is a ritualist.
Okay. So you don't believe in God, and then you want to talk
No,
something that
first
makes
of
sense.
all, did you admit that everybody is a ritualist? First of all.
No, I don't admit. It's a
So
false
what
claim.
is ritual? What is ritual?
It depends on how you describe it, or maybe
That
how
one
you
concern
understand.
you. You know Sabi English way this. He did ask person. He ask person question. You don't understand English before you ask.
I asked you a question, so I was expecting you to answer me.
I said
Uh,
everybody is a ritualist, whether
No,
you like it or
don't.
not. Everybody.
No, don't put me there. Don't put me there. I come out myself.
And Success the fearless, what do you mean by everybody is a ritualist?
Whatever you do on daily basis to make money or to provide food for yourself, the way you eat food is ritual. So whatever you do, every man perform ritual. So everybody is a ritualist.
Okay, I get your concept. I get your
I didn't get your concept. It doesn't make sense to
Okay.
me.
Go and find out.
What I understand to be a ritualist is some people that use dubious means, do sacrifices, do that kind of a dubious diabolic means in order to earn money or to make anything. That is a ritualist. As I did now, I did my own daily hustle. Every day I wake up and
Check
do my
what
hustle.
ritual is before. Welcome, sir. Check first. Then you come back.
So King Ego,
Hello, sir. Sorry.
yeah, King Ego. So as you are saying,
Yes.
God did not set anybody up. There's nothing
I
like
gave
a
you
setup.
Symbiotic. I gave you so many analogy now, and you pick from the analogy and answer me. How is it not a setup? He created this people. He created that fruit. He kept it there. He told them not. It's just like a goat. You're training a goat. Like you bring a yam and keep it around the goat and leave the. You're not even. You didn't chain the goat though. You didn't tie it or something. You left it free and kept the yam around him and left. And I am telling the goat that, see, don't eat this yam. Did you hear me? Don't eat this yam. Then you left. Then at the cost of the goat playing around, him as a goat is built to eat yam. So when he did, you say, I'm really hungry. I love this yam. He now ate some part of the yam and left. Then when he saw that you are coming, he went to hide. And you now shouted, where is the goat? The goat shouted, I am hiding. Then all of a sudden, you now ask, have you eaten that yam I say is not eat? Then the goat said, yes. then all of a sudden you now punish them, cost them, that you're going to suffer, they will till the ground, you died in a hard way. So after all these things, do you think it was a setup, or do you think it is not, or it's just a mistake? Let me say it like that. Do you think it's a mistake, or it's a setup, or he knew that they were going to eat it?
Well, there's nothing like a setup there because from the
No, he
analogy
knew they
you
were
gave,
going to eat it. Are you saying
from
he
the
knew they were
analogy you
going to?
gave, they had options. That was not
What's
the
the
only
option?
yam. The yam there was not the only yam that was available. They have other
What
things
was
that they.
yam was not what?
No, now from the analogy you get, the yam and the goat, that's what I was saying.
Yes.
So there are other fruits, there are other things that they could eat from. And God being unknowing, yeah, of course he knows, but he was relating to them as a human, so that they will understand what they have done and also to accept the consequences. So he was relating to them as a human. When he asked them, "Where are you?" Of course, he knows where they are.
No. You can't claim that. He didn't say he know where they are. He only said, "Where are you?" And that question comes from ignorance. It comes from uncertainty. It comes from unknowing. So, if this question was spitted out by God, that means he didn't know where they go. If you know where somebody is, why will you be asking where is the person? You just go where the person is. But you don't know, that's why you're asking the question. If you're navigating a path, if you don't know the path, you ask the question. If you know the path, you don't need to ask. You just navigate it smoothly. So he didn't know. He asked, and they told him. And that was
My
what
brother,
happened.
you know one thing about these so-called Christians, They
Yeah.
try to defend God at the same time demonize God on their defense. Understand? They try to defend God at the same time demonizing God without knowing that they are demonizing God they are defending. Imagine a place where they saw something written boldly in English language that doesn't need an interpretation. They want to interpret that English. From there, they demonize God. Take for instance, look at the question you asked. God asking Adam, "Where are you?" He said he knows everything. And he's asking somebody, "Where are you?" A man that knows everything or a deity that knows everything doesn't need to ask anybody where you are. He meet the person at the point where the person is.
You will get.
He don't ask questions. See, these people try to use that right up to compare God, claiming it was God. This is my problem with them. And this faith on faith that understood this very well, but because it's his business, so he doesn't want to spoil his business. Understand? That's my problem with him. When you define English word, he say in spiritual realm. This is my problem with him.
Success, let me interject you a little bit. Do you know that it's not faith on faith that is talking to me? I was actually. Do you know who I'm engaging with? First of all, let me know.
The guy is confused. But anyway, leave him, because I don't know what he has with the faith on faith. We come here to.
I'm not actually engaging faith on faith. Sorry, I'm engaging symbiotic.
Yeah, we come here to exchange our ideas, discuss on everyone's opinion counts, and this is a platform that you feel free to express yourself. I don't know what that guy is really bombarding, and anyway, that's for him. So, King Ego, what I'm saying in essence is that
Yes, boy.
God, of course, he knows where they are, and since they
Symbiotic, sorry to interrupt you. Please, I hope none of the moderators dropped him, because I've sent him an invite. Good. All right, thank you very much. Good morning to. I guess he was embarrassed to learn that he was not talking to Faith Unfiltered, and unfortunately, he doesn't understand how things are done here.
Yeah,
But
I'm not even sure he knows your voice.
Richardson and Ladbro, thank you very much. Welcome to the program. Okay, please. My dear friends, good morning to you all and welcome to today's program. Please let me remind us that when this program starts, this particular program that will air for 1 hour is for Fresh TV Bermuda. So this content is for Fresh TV Bermuda. So I'm going to run the program for 1 hour, end the program and restart the live again so that they can download it over there and air it on. Thank you so much, so for joining.
Host asked a question. Is it allowed? Hello? I can't hear anyone.
You know, so ahead, I'm listening.
Host, we cannot hear you. Your speech is breaking. Your speech is breaking. We can't hear you.
Anybody hear me? Not hearing simple. King,
It's like your network is. Yeah.
Hold on, let me change network. Just hold on.
Like your network is glitching.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now, loud and clear.
All right, thank you. I had to switch to, I have 4 different networks that I use. So if one is full, I switch to the other one. Okay, please. So before you make any move, let me say something to you. But Symbiotic, let me hear your feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, what I wanted to ask is that this TV show or TV program you're talking about, how is it? What is our connection to it? Like, I don't know.
They
I
are
don't know whether you
interested
have
in
explained that, but okay.
Yes. So Tia, you're welcome, my brother. So they're interested in my content and to give me more exposure. So that's basically it. But they can't take 15 hours program. It's not possible. So I have to do just 1 hour. Anytime I'm going to do 1 hour for them. So
Okay.
yes, please. Does anybody have another question for me? Thank you so much, so for the heart me. I appreciate it. Ife, good morning and welcome. Well, the when you say family, which family? You mean your nuclear family, your siblings and parents? Is that what you mean? Shulan, you're welcome to the program. Oh, okay. Well, do what you're comfortable in, my sister. As in, Anthony is a TikToker, He's always on TikTok. Say he has been here for 3 years. You can imagine that. So, but just do what you're comfortable in. That's basically. All right, you're welcome, dear sister. Thank you so much, my dear friends, and good morning to each and every one of you. Welcome to Faith Unfiltered Show. Today is thank you, Yesu. This is a special broadcast for TV, Fresh TV Bermuda, and we are going to start the program any moment soon. Currently, we have three Christians upstairs, two atheists upstairs. So the panel is not completely balanced, but it's taking shape. Ti, my brother, I see you. Wizzy Papi, I see you. Good morning to you all. Our topic today is looking at, did God set up Adam and Eve? Did God set Adam and Eve up to fail? All right, that's fine. So you can go ahead and drop. Did God set Adam and Eve up to fail? That's the topic we're going to be looking at today. And as it is customary with the show, we always start with an opening statement. I want to say hello to the people of Bermuda and all the people watching us from North America. This is Faith Unfiltered, and I remain your host, Onyiwe Comedy, ensuring that you enjoy the show. Basically, there are 3 L's. You're going to learn, you're going to laugh, and you're going to love. This is a TikTok live stream, but of course, we are here on your TV screen. Thank you so much for joining in. We are going to invite the first guest to make an opening statement on today's topic. Did God set Adam and Eve up to fail? We have King Eagle. Proceed now to make his opening statement. King Eagle, this is your time. All right, King Eagle has just sent a signal that I should skip him. Definitely, he is going to make a little adjustments, and when he's ready, he will signal. Symbiotic, you can now proceed with your time.
My affirmative answer will be no. God did not set Adam and Eve up to fail. He's a loving creator who have a good prospect for his subject. So it's unthinkable on his part to create the human race, the first man and woman, and just set them up to fail. Nobody in his right mind or in right senses will ever think that. However, he set a standard for them to meet up to. And Adam and Eve, they failed woefully. They failed woefully on that regard because each time I go through the process by which Adam went through, he was given a clear instructions. He had many options, but he was given a specific instruction. He said, do not touch. On the day you touch this, there will be consequences. So he didn't touch. And then, but later his wife deceived him, and then he touched and took that. And then I don't know what was in this Adam's head. Simple question about location and question of geography. Say, Adam, where are you? Simple question of geography. And Adam responded that he was naked. So I didn't know what is the relationship between your center of location and your mood of dressing. It doesn't align in any way. But anyway, that's to tell you how Adam failed and failed woefully. So in God's own arrangement and standard, he did not set anyone up. Rather, he set a standard by which these subjects are to abide with. And he made it clear for them that, okay, since you made this choice, because Adam had a choice, he had options. He have other things to look at. He has any other things to touch. He has other options, but he deliberately chose to disobey God, and disobedience comes with consequences. So it wasn't a setup in any way. It's a clear standard rule. Yeah. in every community today, or maybe in most of the communities, there are rules and regulations, there are do's and don'ts, there are community guidelines, even as we are using this platform. So once you match the red line, there is a consequence, there's a penalty for it. So Adam matched the red line, and then he have to suffer the penalty that is involved. And God did not stop there. He could have said, well, Adam, since you disobeyed me, okay, I'm done with you and all the subject and all the parties involved. I'm gonna wipe you out. No, he didn't do that. And that stems from his love and his affection for humanity. So he took a different route in order to remedy all the mess that was caused there. Yeah. For me, as a human, I'm thinking as a human, if I was God, I would have wiped out all those subjects, all the parties. I would have wiped everybody out and then start from the scratch. But God, out of his mercy and his affection and the infinite mercy, he took a different route in order to correct that wrongs. And we are still there. And correction of that wrong have been a work in progress. So we'll get there, and through his word, the Bible, he have also assured us the route that he's taken in order to bring mankind back to perfection, because that was his original purpose, that humans will be perfect and will not be worried, will not all the problems that we have today, we have different problems today, hunger, sickness, and now we are hearing this tension between East and West, and nuclear holocaust. They attempt, all these things are really big worries. And in the future, God has promised us that these things will be things of the past, and we don't need to worry about them anymore. And that is a work in progress, and we are getting there. We are very close there. So we just need to exercise patience and wait until when we can be able to attend to that perfection that he made from the Garden of Eden. So in my own subject opinion, it wasn't a setup. It's just that Adam failed woefully. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Symbiotic, for that opening statement. While you were addressing the house, we were joined upstairs by Mason and Isu. Please, you guys should remain intact. Mason, don't worry, we are going to be invited to speak shortly. Just relax. I just wanted to welcome you guys to the program. Thank you very much for choosing to be here today. We will now invite the next person that will make an opening statement on today's topic. And that person is Ife. Ife, this is your time for opening statements.
Oh, please, I'll be back. I'm somewhat busy right now.
All right, Ife has requested that we skip him for the moment. So the next person that will speak on today's topic is Ladbro. Ladbro, this is your time.
Okay, thank you, host. For God, the topic today is did God set up Adam and Eve to fail? The word fail means there was a plan, something. That means like when you fail an exam, that means there's a marking scheme. That means that there's something, that a limit you must reach. That means anything below that line, that limit, that boundary is failure. So if someone failed something, it doesn't mean the person was not able to reach the limit. That's the first thing I'm going to talk about. The next thing is we call something you said set up. Set up means putting things in place. And when you put things in place, there are two things you are waiting to find. That means the person using the thing appropriately to get your answers, or using the thing wrongly to get your answers. So even when you enter into the theater, you see the nurses and doctors are putting things in place. They make sure they don't make any mistake. They go according to the procedure, meaning whatever they know they should do, they are doing it correctly so that they don't make any mistakes. So the moment the doctor wishes to do anything differently, that means he's moving away from the procedure. And when you jump from a procedure, automatically, it's two things you are putting on yourself to fail. or to still meet your gains. So when you fail, that doesn't mean the procedure will fail. You failed because you diverted from the procedure. So when you come to the Christian background, God said, do not. That means don't go out of this boundary. So they wish they can go out of this boundary, and they left, and they went and failed. That doesn't mean God planned for them to fail. No, there was a boundary, and because they moved out of the boundary, they failed. Let's use our mother nature as another example. Nature, we know that there are seasons, winter, summer, and others. All these things comes accordingly, and we humans expect them to be by this time, and they will come actually by this time, though there are slight changes. So I don't want to go there, but definitely you see that these seasons and times are working. So now let's take Mother Nature has the will or the right to say, no, I'm not going to do it as it was. That means nature will fail mankind also. This makes us understand that so far as you have been put, so far as you have been directed, so far as there is a procedure, so far as there is a plan, the failure is the one who is deciding, not the person who put everything in place. People will question, why is God all-knowing and God still let them fail? God knows. I call something branches of time. You may decide what to do tomorrow. You may change it depending on your own will. Yes, there will be two same people who will be in the same class, but people have their same directions. That doesn't mean that God can't tell them what to do. But if people were having the right to choose between good and wrong, and these two people rather choose wrong, we can't blame God, because God knows if they choose good, they could have been going this way. But because they failed, they could have been going this other way. So that's the little I can talk about. Thank you, host.
Thank you so much, Ladro, for your opening statement. We are now going to invite our dear friend Mason that joined us for the first time. Mason, because you are new on this platform, let us hear your introduction. Basically, two information we need from you. One, where are you joining us from? Two, are you a believer or an unbeliever? Please unmute your mic and speak.
Hi, I'm from the UK, and yes, I am a believer in the sense that I follow Christ's message biblically. My partner is a Jehovah's Witness. And up until a couple of years ago, I was a Mormon, but now I proclaim that I'm a Christian. But I do believe that as a species, our one and only God are the same. They're the same. And I believe that when the devil rubs his hands together.
Okay, Mason, don't worry, that we do for the introduction. Now we know, one, that you are joining us from the UK and that you are a Christian, you're a believer. That is sufficient. So we're going to now invite you to speak on today's topic. You have 5 minutes to make your opening statement. Please go ahead.
I believe that Jesus Christ's teachings are good. They teach.
The topic in the comment section. The topic is in the comment section. Did God set Adam and Eve up to fail? Address the topic, okay? Thank you.
Did Adam and Eve? Sorry, say again. Sorry.
We have a topic for today. Every day we have topics. Today's topic is, did God set Adam and Eve up to fail? It is in the comment section in case if you need to reference it. So you make your opening statement based on the topic of the day. Okay?
Well, yes, he did in a way. but it comes down to God giving us free will. So the same argument could be applied when people question me and say, well, if God exists, then why are these abominations happening in life? And that's because God gave us free will, and God gave us free will for a reason. There will be no point when someone argues against me and they say, well, why is there famine? Why is there poverty? Why is there disease? Why, if God exists, then why is there children that are suffering and stuff like that? And it's because God gave us free will, and there will be no point in existing unless there was free will. I mean, I wouldn't want my God to pick up the pieces, shall we say? Otherwise, what would be the point in existing? So yeah, I do believe that God did set up Adam and Eve to a degree. I also believe that women are sent to defer men from prospering, and from the I wouldn't say that women are sent by the devil. That's a bit extreme, but I believe that yeah, women, divisive women are sent to test us in the resilience of ourselves, in which we prosper to be, and how men prosper to be, and our determination and our pioneering, which is natural for all man, is to pioneer. And I believe that women are sent to kind of taint that and kind of trouble us, and it's a deliberate thing. Hence, with Adam and Eve, it was all content until Eve. That's the thing, isn't it? Sorry, that's the thing, isn't it? It's always a woman, isn't it? It's never enough. It's never enough. You could get your wife, your Princess Diamonds, and she'll go, yeah, but it's not rubies, is it? And that's exactly what Eve did. She was like, yeah, I'm not really content with this, actually. You know what we should do? We should move things around a little bit. Adam should have just gone like, Eve, shut the F up. Really? But and that's where we are today. Where women live in this illusion that they actually have an input in the world, other than what's between their legs, which is great. Let's candor to them. Let's tell them they're okay. Let's give them admin jobs. Let's tell them that, yeah, you're a care worker. Yeah, you're brilliant. You're brilliant in that nursery where you work. It's brilliant. Yeah, it's brilliant. But in all honesty, they're not really significant. At the end of the day, if women left the planet now for 30 days, there'd be no issue when they came back.
This guy's a troll. He's trolling. This guy's a troll.
Sorry, done.
All right, thank you very much for your opening statement, Mason. Nado, you're welcome to the program. Now that you have disrupted someone that is speaking, can you introduce yourself to us? 2 basic information you will answer. 1, where are you joining us from, and are you a believer or an unbeliever?
I'm from the UK, and I'm a believer, yeah.
All right. Thank you for joining us. So relax, mute your microphone. You only speak when invited to speak, and then watch as the program goes. The
No, I
next
was
person,
saying that guy was a troll. Like he was just, he
noted.
was,
We have noted what you're doing now is interruption. We have noted that. Thank you.
this guy was a troll. That's what I'm trying to express. He was a troll. He was joke.
I guess you are even more true than him because your tongue is not without padlock. We will now invite Esu to make his opening statement on today's topic.
Yeah, hello, good morning everyone. Did God set Adam and Eve up? Yeah, but not really. It is not the setup, but the setting. Because I believe in a system that everything that is made by a creator must be tested by that creator. That is, if someone creates something, he must test that thing, not because he is setting those things up, but he is just setting the thing to actually put it in place it is supposed to be. Yeah, so that other people may bear witness, and even themselves. It is just like activating something. You are activating that was what the creator do, to activate them so that they can come to the completion of creation or whatever. So now here's the thing. When people talk about God, they misinterpret God in all form and all manners. There's every tendency that God the Father sent God the Son to go and tell Adam and Eve not to eat from the tree in the Garden of Eden. Then who it now comes a kind of question that like, who put the tree in the Garden of Eden? That which is the devil. The devil, this devil being God the Father. It was the devil that put the tree there. Now, the one that said that Adam and Eve should not eat from the tree in the Garden of Eden was Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is also a God. But the difference between there's a difference between this God and God the Father. So just like I said, a creator cannot create something, or after creating something, either with somebody, you understand? So, and he will now leave the thing. He himself must first of all test the thing. Yeah. So that was what the devil did. So after Jesus Christ, or after the Lord went and go and tell Adam and Eve not to eat from the tree, and they had the message, but that doesn't mean that that is just the process of setting the creation, or the creation in place, not as set up, but putting it in the correct, in the actual manner of a place. So the devil now goes in the other way to activate them to reality. So it is something that is known. It is something that is not a bad thing. It wasn't a bad decision that they made. But whatever decision they made will also cause them. Whatever decision that they make. So when the devil went and activate them to reality, and they made the right decision by eating from the fruit. After all, even the devil said that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. So the devil is the creator here, joined with the Christ Jesus. So it's as simple as that. God can never be confused. God is always upright. He is the one that is doing all these things. But my problem with people talking about creator, this and that, they in fact, this God is, the truth is hidden. That's what I have always said. But it needs a very good mindset, a mind of truth to understand the scripture. Is as simple as that. So that every creator everything that is created must be tested. Yeah, must be tested first and foremost by the creator himself, by the ultimate creator himself. So that is it. That's what I have to say for now.
Thank you very much, Yesu, for that opening statement. With this, we know the direction that you'll be heading today. We will now invite Blessed to make his opening statement on today's program. Blessed, this is your time.
Thank you. Shalom, brothers and sisters from all over the world. Peace be with you. Topic is, did God set Adam and Eve up? No, God didn't. God created them to have eternal, loving communion relationship with Him forever. But they fulfilled the plan. But God, in His divine providence, He had the greater plan, which is redemption. And through redemption, which is through Himself in the person of Jesus Christ, Son of God, who took upon flesh. He came down and redeemed the entire humanity after the fall. So the incarnation is a turning point of history. It is the center of the cosmos, that is the divine unite with the human and create a God man, Jesus Christ, who is fully God and fully man. Why so? Because for him to redeem the entirety of humanity, he needs to have humanity to have a linkage with the human genome. So it is linked through Blessed Virgin Mary, who was prevented from all kind of sin, including the original sin. So through him, then he can redeem the entirety of his brothers and sisters. Jesus is our brother. That's a Christian theology. He is our brother and he is our savior. So as a kinsman redeemer, he came to redeem us from the same bloodline. We have the same bloodline of humanity, which is all the humanity. If that is not the case, then he couldn't redeem us. So he must be truly human for him to redeem us. But if he's truly human, he can only redeem one or two persons. Then he needed to have the infinite power to redeem all of humanity. That's why his humanity, through his divinity, he can redeem us, all of us, as our kinsman redeemer. So Jesus being our brother and our redeemer, he redeemed us from our fall, and he takes us into the new eternal life, which is the new paradise, which is greater than the one which we had in the previous time. So in the new paradise, we'll be with him forever, with the new heaven and the new earth. And where he is also what we call the heaven. So where Jesus is heaven. So within the new heaven and the new earth, himself, he will illuminate the entirety of our being. He will illuminate us in the eternal union, eternal communion, love, and unending blissful moment with him. Thus, the Christians understanding. And by the way, in a Catholic sense, Adam and Eve fall. So Adam is the first Adam. I mean, Adam was one who fell, and Eve was the one who caused together to fall. But in the New Testament, the new Adam, the second Adam, is Jesus Christ. But through whom? Through the obedience of whom? Of Mother, the Mother, Blessed Virgin Mary. So in the first instance, we have Adam and Eve who fell. In the second instance, our Redeemer, Jesus Christ, and the co-redemptrix, Blessed Virgin Mary, Mother of God, who through obedience, unlike the disobedience of Eve, them together in person of Jesus Christ, with Mary being the co-redemptrix, we have been saved from the fall. So Blessed Virgin Mary, Mother of God, is the new Eve, and Adam is the second Adam. So now in heaven, there are King enthroned forever, Jesus Christ, as eternal priest in the order of Melchizedek. And then we have a female figure, which is fully assumed because the Blessed Virgin Mary was assumed into heaven. And now we have two people who truly alive now in heaven. Jesus Christ, the enthroned King forever. And at the right hand stays the Queen of Heaven, Blessed Virgin Mary, the Mother of God, governing the entirety of the universe into its eternal consummation of history, which of course will be the eternal bliss beatific vision. God bless you. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you so much, Blessed, for that opening statement. We will now invite King Ego. King Ego, are you done eating? Unless you're eating a whole big cow. All right, King Eagle has not yet given me a signal, so I will now invite General Overseer Perez to make his opening statement on today's topic. Perez, this is your time.
Yeah, it's been a long time here. Good morning, everyone. To me, did God set Adam and Eve up? I think people here will know my own stand on this kind of mythological stories by now, because the idea. Let me even start this way: the idea of a God creating people or creating lower entities just to worship Him is even barbaric. Because okay, just put it in perspective. Imagine Elon Musk creating robots, millions of robots just to wake up every morning, bow and worship Him. That should say enough about Elon Musk, that he's egoistical, he is misogynistic, is in fact so many things to start. Another point is this: we have seen that this story of Adam and Eve was adapted from much older stories that predates the Bible, predates the Jewish what's it called? The Jewish mythology and the Jewish existence, with at least like 3,000, 4,000 years. So it is normal for an imagined population to adapt or copy stories that predate them, try and polish it to be in better light. So these are common phenomenon that happen with mythologies. So the story of Adam and Eve was adapted from the myth of Adapa, was adapted from the Lost Book of Enki as translated by Zachariah Sitchin for us to understand now. And we can see that it's way much more than all this we are being told. Much more than it. So this story itself is faulty from the beginning, because the original story, in fact, has nothing to do with what was written in the Bible. So if I'm actually copying someone and I'm trying to portray my own propaganda with the story or giving it a twist, it's only radiates what those people in those era about 3,000 years ago think of how things should be, and it's reflective in their ideologies and their stories they tell. So the story itself is faulty in so many ways. In fact, if we go to Genesis 2, you will see that it's telling another story or an account, a different account of creation itself. So the story of Adam and Eve is a corrupted one by the Jews. They don't own the story. They copied it from the what's it called? From the Mesopotamians. So if they did a bad job in copying the Mesopotamians, so and it's evident in their storytelling. How will God know that a God that is omnipotent, whatever, knows that Adam and Eve will fall? And I can't even start to think about it in a much more logical sense. Just 1 second, please.
All right, while we're waiting for General Overseer Perez to resume his opening statement, let's not forget that we have this program that will be aired for Fresh TV Bermuda. So for those of you in North America that will be watching us on TV, thank you very much for joining us. This is Faith Unfiltered. Perez, are you ready to proceed now?
Yeah, I'm here now.
All right, go ahead.
So if you look at the story very well, I, as a father, will never set up my children in that way. For instance, now, I put an electric fence or a naked wire in the house and told my kids that don't know right from wrong, left from right, that they should not touch the wire. And, I left them to themselves. And eventually, they touched the naked wire. Who will be at fault? Is it the kids or me, myself, that put such danger in their territory? And I know these people have the intuition of a 7-year-old or even lower. So it's faulty to even put into a logical perspective. What's that? So, sorry, I'm outside. So that itself is in fact, the story is somehow on its own. So thank you. I will expatiate more when it's my time to talk and address the house properly.
All right, thank you very much, General Vasa Perez. Perez is a civil engineer when it comes to construction, even though he read agric, but he's into building and he is on a site right now addressing us. Welcome, my beautiful sister, Mary Dawn. Always excited to see my one and lovely sister. Thank you for the heart me as well. My dear friends, we are having a very wonderful discussion on the topic, did God set Adam and Eve up to fail? And we are having our dear friends make their opening statements. Ben Koda, are you there to make your opening statement on the topic? All right, Ben Koda, you have 5 minutes to speak on the topic. The topic will be pasted in the comment section once again.
All right. Did God set Adam and Eve up? Right? Is first of all, we need to agree what it means for you to be able to foresee something, right? If you have the ability to foresee something, it means there's already a plan. There's already a plan. If you have to foresee something and it comes out 100% like it must occur, there must be a plan. Somebody made that plan. If God of the Bible didn't set Adam and Eve up, maybe there's a bigger God before him that set them up, and the God in the Bible then knew about the plan. You understand? That is the only case where you would argue with me that God of the Bible did not set Adam and Eve up. He just knew about the plan. But if it is the God of the Bible that created Adam and Eve and put that fruit there, that apple there, or that fruit of the knowledge of good and evil there, and he knew about it, that they were going to eat it and still put it there, there's nothing you can tell me that it is not a setup. You understand? If I know you are going to do something and I put the thing there for you to do it, it's a setup. You understand? If you are under investigation by the police, they set up trap for you. Even if they see you're a criminal, they might do a sting operation, knowing you're a thief, or they just want like something to hold you on. They will set up a sting operation to check whether you will steal that thing. But the case of police and God is that police, they are just trying to build an investigation. They do not know, right? But for God knows you are going to do it. So you cannot tell me that God in the Bible did not set this thing up and made them do it, because of course everything works to his glory, right? Unless there's another God before that God that created the plan and the God of the Bible was following it. If not, you cannot tell me that this God created this plan, or he did not create this plan, then he know about it. Like, you cannot make sense. I keep going in circles with this thing. So maybe there's another God that created the plan and the God of the Bible is following it. Then he now knew the plan, you understand, and still went ahead with it. You get? Because how, again, can you plant this fruit, right? Put these people there. You did not put the tree to be taller than them, so that they will make hurdles to climb this tree. The tree was in their reach, and you said they did not know like you did not make them do it. And of course, you know the plan. There's no how you can say this thing without going in circle. If you already assume that the God knows everything that is going to happen. So you keep going circles back and forth with this whole discussion, or we keep going circle. Unless we can come to terms with the believers of this thing that God did not know that it was going to happen, then we can say, okay, he was just testing them out of their free will. But if he knows, of course, if he knows and he was the one that created them to do whatever he wanted, then he made the plan and he knew, and he could have removed it if it was not a setup, right? Then again, these people did not know what good and evil was. They did not know. It was after they ate the fruit, in fact, that they realized they were naked. That was when the knowledge of knowing what is good and evil. So they cannot know what is wrong or what is right. All they just know is don't eat this fruit. You get? And you cannot say they know it's a wrong thing when they don't have the knowledge of good and bad. So we keep going in this cycle. In fact, that story, if you think about it clearly, it never happened. It was just humans try to create a story of how things happen without fact or evidence. And you cannot refute it because you are not there. You understand? You are not there. This is what believers believe. And the more you argue it with there, the more they refuse to argue that they were not there. Unlike other beliefs that we can begin to argue that these are the reasons why we came up to this conclusion. This is why scientists say we are descending from like ape. There's evidence or there is gene that proves that we share like the same ancestry with some other ape, other like advanced primates or the rest or whatever they say, right? But to this one, it's just a belief and it's clearly a made-up story. We can keep going on and on and on and on and on. If this God knew and he knew the end from the beginning and still made that fruit and put them, unless it is this God's plan. If not, the God was following another plan of somebody else. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ben Koda, for that opening statement. Thank you so much, James, for that Hatmi. My dear friends, this program will air on Bermuda, Fresh TV Bermuda, and later on in North America, especially in America. So thank you so much. Those of you joining us, we are having a conversation on the topic, did God set Adam and Eve up to fail? We are now going to invite King Ego to make his opening statement. After King Ego, we'll move to Diane. King, your time.
Yeah, host, thank you. Good morning. So, according to the topic, did God set up Adam and Eve? For me, that's a big setup because they never asked for all these things. He had the right to do all the whole fruit to be normal without even making anyone look too special or being unspecial. In short, he has the right not to even warn them about any fruit. Just eat. But he not set up one there and still went and gave them warning that of all this one, don't eat. But you see this one here, don't eat it. But it is also food. Why is he not saying you should not eat it? You just eliminate it if you want them to be perfect or good. You don't want them to commit sin. You wouldn't put it there. And you that is the all-knowing and omniscient, you are everywhere, you're all-knowing. How did you not know that they will still eat this fruit that you kept there when you are the one that put it there? So at the end of the day, everything was predestined that it was going to be done like that. It was set up. He knew they were going to eat the fruit. He put it, I gave an analogy of a goat and a yam. You can't keep a yam where there's a goat and expect that goat to just be wallowing around the yam without eating it. It is designed to eat yam. So there's no way you would do that kind of setup and expect it to fail. It's never going to work because goat will always see yam and eat it. So how did you now manage to put a fruit? Even the adage, an apple a day keeps man alive, keeps you healthy. You know this fruit is very healthy with even knowledge of good and evil. You not kept it there that they should not eat it. And it's a very healthy fruit that has wisdom in it, knowledge. So why would they not want to eat it? It's a setup. You set up an exam for a student to write and the student fail or pass, you are complaining. You set it up. You know what you set up. See, if student pass because the teacher set up the exam so that you might pass. If the teacher wants you to fail, you set up the exam in such a way you fail. No matter what you write, you still fail it because it's never going to be an answer you can answer because it's not within the scheme of work. Where are you going to read the answers from when it is not part of the scheme of work? So Adam and Eve never had a clue of this exam they were writing. They were writing it ignorantly, and the examiner expect them to pass this exam that he already knew. Expect them to fail, but indirectly ones thinking they will pass the exam that he has already designed them to fail. Then when they now fail, from his own plan, he now still punish them. He now give them punishment. How is that not a setup? People that did not know the whole game from the beginning, so that okay, if they misbehave, they don't know the game plan. You only just told them don't eat this one, then they now manage to eat it. You that know that they will eat it, you are not still punishing them again. Is it not stupidity? So for me, it's a complete setup. God knew that they were going to eat that fruit. He designed them. He is the creator. Every creator knows why they design something. If a creator designs something and put it to test, he knows that this thing will pass this test or to fail it. He knows because he created it. He knows his input towards the product. So if he's going to fail, he already has clue in his head. If he's going to pass, he still has the clue. It's not something that he just assume he will fail or he will pass. No, it's not assumption. He knows what he has done. So if he's going to fail, he knows from arrival. So for me, Adam and Eve was a complete setup. And for him to even be asking that, did you eat of the fruit I said you shouldn't eat? You should know that he knew that they were going to fail. That's why he came to be asking them again. He already knew that they were going to fail this exam. If not, he would just laugh over it and ignore the course. But he came and be asking because he knew he set up a test. So he came to ask you, this test I gave you, did you write? Did you pass it? They answered him clearly. He now punished them. So is it not set up? It's set up. You knew this person was going to fall into this hole. You now dug it around where he's playing to see if he will fall in. And he fell inside. Instead of you to bring him out based on your plan, you now still flogged him that he fell into the hole. Anyway, for me, it's a complete setup. Thank you, host.
All right, thank you very much. With that, we bring the opening statement segment to a successful closure. For those of you watching us in the country of Bermuda and in North America, thank you for tuning in. This is Faith Unfiltered, and I'm your host, Onyiwe Comedy, ensuring that we learn, we laugh, and we love. We are now going to enter into the second segment of this show, which is the reinforcement time. And this is when you build up your case. Using every reference material of your choice, you have the right to use the Holy Scriptures, the Holy Quran, the Holy Bible, the Holy Torah. You have the right to use FBI classified or declassified documents. You have the right to use ChatGPT or AI review, Wikipedia, Encyclopedia Britannica, anything you want, personal experiences, visions, revelations, anything that you want to use to make your case solid. After that, people will engage you. We will now invite Symbiotic to proceed and reinforce. Symbiotic, your time.
Yes, good day, everyone. Good day, host, also. As I said from my opening statement, God never set the human race up. He never set Adam and Eve up. What God did was he set a standard, and today we esteem standards. You know, every setting have a standard. Any organization or any company that doesn't have a standard is underrated. So God has a standard, and since he set up his standard, these people, Adam and Eve, they were unable to attend to that standard, and what follows was a consequence. You know, he made it clear. He said, from all of this, they have a choice. First of all, God gave them a choice, so they didn't have only one option. They have several options. Second, he created them with a free will. That's the ability to choose. We all humans, we have that relative free will. Like we can decide what to eat. We can decide how we want to sleep. We can decide when to drink water. We can decide so many things. Nobody don't need to write an application to decide where you want to go or where you want to look or when to breathe or when to cough or when so this you have free will to do them and nobody limits you to do them. So and Adam and Eve they have this free will to choose what they want, which fruit they want to eat. But they deliberately decided to choose the forbidden fruit. And that was a whole failure because in other words, they proved rebellious. They kind of they didn't want to toe the same line with God. They wanted to have their own system. They want to set their own standard, you know. And coming to that, God knows. He knows everything. You know, he's the omnipotent and all the omnis, however I want to put it. But he chose not to. Because when you look at when this sin was committed, he looked for solution. This solution have not been in place. Prior to the fall of Adam, there have never been a provision to remedy mankind. So that's to tell you that God didn't know or he didn't make any plan prior to that So even though he knew, or whether he didn't know that Adam would fall, but he didn't make any alternative plan. Say, okay, I know that Adam is gonna fall, but let me put this safe net so that I know that he will fall, and then when when he fall, this safe net is gonna catch him. There was no provision to that. It was after Adam's fall that a safe net was meant for mankind. That is the provision of through Jesus, the route through Jesus that mankind could be redeemed. So a lot of people, you know, accuse God that He's all-knowing and they have already planned everything. God have not planned anything. Even though from His statement, He said He regretted in making mankind. So how can He regret knowing fully well that man will fall? So all of this come because Adam fell, and then he started making plans because he don't want anything to thwart his purpose. His purpose is to redeem mankind and create an enabling environment for mankind to thrive. And along the way, there are obstacles, there are challenges. So he tried to maneuver those challenges, those obstacles, to ensure that his purpose for mankind will be actualized. And then he could have, in order to redeem mankind, he could have chosen any other option. He could have, but he chose the best. He used his only begotten Son in order to redeem mankind. From a human standpoint, who of us can actually go to that extreme to choose your only Son, only begotten Son, in order to remedy the mistake that was done by this guy? Yeah. When you look at it, you see that from a human standpoint, you might think different, but God understands what He's doing from the outset, and He chose a plan in order to uh, fix the solution. And because He has a purpose, so that purpose is still ongoing. Today, people ask questions that, do you think there is a God? If there is a God, maybe He have run away from His purpose. Maybe He have run away from His plan. Because when you look at the things that are happening, you see, the unfavorable conditions that we are suffering today, sickness, hunger, war, this the crisis all over. People claim that God have abandoned His original purpose, and He have that His purpose have been abandoned, and He ran away. No, He have not run away. He's making plans. He's still working in order to actualize that. It might take years. It might, you have already taken years, but it's a work in progress. We'll get there, and we'll get there soon. So for us that are believers, we have that hope, because hope is an anchor. Yeah, it keeps you safe, and you know that things will get better. We don't know when, but we know that very soon. The time left is very much reduced. That this whole mess, this whole catastrophic event will be behind us. But until then, we still have to keep our hope intact and then walk towards it so that we can be able to actualize that. But from my own point of view, and also from my own belief system, God never set Adam and Eve up. He only gave them a test. And that test is reasonable because he wants to ascribe that these individuals know what they're doing. Yeah, I don't want to use the teacher and student analogy, because these are just humans. But in a classroom, a teacher will teach. He teach a subject, and then he also set a test for the student. Yeah. So the student's performance will determine his result. If the student did not write the exam in a proper, he will fail. But if he writes the correct answers, he will pass. So the teacher has no influence on that. The performance of the student depends on his good grade and how he responds to the questions. So God only tested these individuals, and as a human, they also fell. Now think of it. After Adam's fall, has God tested any other human in that capacity, or maybe relatively in that capacity? Even though the human is not perfect like Adam. Because what makes Adam's case worse is that he was perfect. He was created. There was no sin attached to him. He was a perfect being. But he failed. But after Adam's fall, has there been any other human that God tested relatively to that capacity that fell or did not fail? Could it be that God also was backing him up so that he will not fail? So these are questions that we might try to think about to know whether was God setting them up, has he predestined or preordained their outcome? Yeah, these are things that we need to find out because the question of test and integrity is ongoing. Today we are even tested in different ways, and yeah, it only takes your ability to keep your integrity in many things. There are a lot of things out there that test your ability, that test your integrity. So it requires you to like brace up your point and then know that this is just a test, and you find a way to overcome them and overlook them. But if it's test, yeah, we are tested severally, time and again, even in this our generation, most of the tests that comes subtle, becomes subtle. We don't even recognize that it's a test. It's only when you are caught up with the trap that you know, oh, I've been caught up, and we know who is behind all these tests, so that we can be able to fall and break our integrity. So yeah, we need to really brace up ourselves and then be able to recognize the snails so that we will not be caught unaware. If it's test will come in different ways, in subtle way, whether obvious or not realized, it's gonna come. But it's our ability to be able to, if it's church people, they say jump and pass. It's our ability to jump and pass those tests so that we will not become, so that we will not be caught away and then suffer the penalty like Adam and Eve. But led for me, in my own belief system, there was no setup. It was a pure test that Adam and Eve failed woefully. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Symbiotic, for that reinforcement. The person who has indicated interest to engage with you is Ladbro. Ladbro, you can now proceed with your engagement.
Oh, thank you, host. My brother Symbiotic. How you
Yeah,
doing?
good morning, sir. Labro.
I'm a believer too, but I want to engage you. Yeah.
You are
I
welcome,
don't.
sir.
Okay. Do you accept that Genesis, the creation story in Genesis, is a witness account? Do you accept it that way?
Sorry, come again. I didn't get your question.
I said, do you accept that Genesis, the book of creation in Genesis chapter 1 is a witness account? If you don't understand, I can explain it very well so you can get it.
Yeah, please shine more green light.
Okay, let me say, if you see two people fighting, the one who is standing somewhere watching those two people fighting is called a witness. So he doesn't know anything. What he saw is what he is writing down. Do you get it? So when maybe the issue is sent to court, the witness will bring his or her account, how he sees things. Did you get now how I'm saying it?
Okay, yeah. Okay, then, yeah. In that line of thought, I understand you.
Okay. So when you accept that a witness account, it's difficult to use it to judge those two parties. Do you get it that too?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay. So if you get that too, so if God told Adam that do not eat from this fruit, don't you know? If I'm a witness and I know I'm saying that God told this person, they were talking because in conversation the witness will know. If he's telling Adam, don't eat from this fruit, don't you know? With logic, don't you know God knows the reason why he's telling him not to eat from it?
Yeah, of course, yeah. God knows.
Yeah, if he knows, that means he have put things, he knows, he set everything in place for Adam.
Yeah, Yeah, but there's something that God didn't know. Let me put that no in question. God also didn't know if he will eat that food.
No, but do you accept God is all knowing?
Yeah, he's all knowing. Yeah, of course.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Let me put that. I want to come there, but I want to ask you a little question. In case you have a daughter and you came back from the to the house, you saw you have poured some oil down in the house. Definitely, you ask your daughter. You know that definitely is the oil that your daughter have poured on the ground. Am I lying? When you enter the house, okay.
Okay.
Or do you get what I'm saying? But you ask your
Uh,
daughter, have you poured the oil on the ground? Or should I
okay.
bring another scenario? You can get it. Okay, let me go to court so you can get it. Maybe two people have
No, don't
present.
take me to court. No, don't take me to court. Let's stay in the
That's why I'm
house.
using that one. Definitely, you ask your daughter, have you poured? You know that your daughter have poured the oil, but you ask him, you ask her, have you poured the oil on
Yeah,
the ground?
of course. Yeah, of course.
For
Yeah,
the-
I will. Yeah, I
Yes,
will. Yeah, I will do that.
yes, for her to confirm that yes, I've done it. Do you get it?
Yeah, yes, I get
Yes.
it.
So there are some questions is for confirmation. Yes. So if God is all knowing, God definitely know the signs when Adam and Eve ate the fruit. So when God came, he must get a confirmation from them that the signs I'm seeing, have you do, because you can't accuse someone if he haven't accepted that you have done it. Even the judge in the house knows that when you read everybody's statement, he knows your statement that you accepted it already, that you have committed the murder. But he will still ask you, have you committed the murder? Because the person must accept in front of you before you bring your judgment. So if God asking them, have you eat the fruit? That doesn't mean that God don't know that they have eaten the fruit. He knows that they have already eaten it. He told them, don't eat it. So far as you have eaten it, I must let you confirm to me so that you won't stand anywhere that you didn't ask me, but when you came, you start putting judgment on me. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't mean that God doesn't know. He knows they will eat it. He knows it. He knows that the time, the branch, I call something branches of time. I've been saying it here. Because when you don't do it, he knows where it's going to end you. When you do it, he knows where it's going to end you. So God knows it, where both people, where they can take or they won't take. So it depends on them to choose. So I don't call anything free will. I don't say free will because I said it's a man have choices. Before God, man have choices. But before Adam, man has what? Abilities. So that's why I was just coming here to confirm to you. He knows it. We have choices to choose from. But because you're a man and someone do something extraordinary, you call it someone, he has an ability, he has a big IQ or other stuff. But before God, you are just doing a choice. You are choosing what you are going to choose. But he knows whatever you are choosing, where it will send you to. So God just need a confirmation from them. So that's what I want to just say to you. That means if you are saying God doesn't know, people will debate on you about that. But you should let them know that God knows it. But he must get confirmation. You can't just put charges on somebody because the person didn't. Even me, if you come home and I've put something on the phone, you don't ask me. Definitely, you know I'm the only person in the house. So I'll be the one to do it. But you must confirm from me. If I accept it, I will accept every judgment you give to me.
Yeah, but Libro, you are actually using a human analogy to like buttress this. But God, His wisdom, His all-knowing, does He need confirmation from any human?
The thing is, God is all knowing to you. God is all knowing. But if God is all knowing, and God, I am a human being, and God come and ask, God did not ask me that if God is all knowing, He's all powerful, and He put judgment on me, and God did not ask me that I committed the sin, and I'm telling my descendants how God did this to me. Do you think I'll tell them that I committed a sin?
Yeah,
I have a
but
right to tell the people, God didn't ask me. God came and just put judgment on me. I don't know what I've done. We
but
human beings, we know
but did you
ourselves.
but did you commit the sin or not?
You are saying I committed. I'll become guilty only if I accepted it. If I've not accepted, I'm not guilty of anything. So don't think that if God did not ask them, do you think Adam would say he was guilty? If God just Adam come and Adam was, he said he was in, God, Adam and Eve were hidden. God called them, they were not coming out. And God said, why are you not coming out? And God said, oh, come, there is nothing, come. And they came out. Do you think they will accept they have committed a sin? Nobody will do that. Somebody will accept he have committed a sin in reality until the person have accepted it. Open his mouth, I've done it. That makes the person guilty. If the person doesn't accept it, somebody will commit murder. He will still defend himself that he didn't. We see it always. So far as the person said, I'm not, he's not guilty. You can't tell him he is guilty unless you find evidence against the person.
Labro, we are actually going back and forth in this discussion because from a human standpoint, you can commit any offense and then you hide it. The person doesn't
Okay,
have
so
any
what
witness.
evidence was
It
God
doesn't.
going to show to them that Adam and Eve committed there?
Maybe
Was guilty.
maybe God have a CCTV camera around, which
So
has
God,
an evidence.
so God
He
was
has,
going to show them the CCTV
of
camera.
course, he's all knowing. So and his eyes are everywhere. So he have all the evidence. He know all that they have done. So they cannot
So
deny.
that's the question is, you and me, we were not there. And CCTV camera was not there. So only if God was going to ask them something, unless they accept it, God will never have the right, because he must let them accept that they are guilty. That's the simplest way. So if
Yeah, of
if
course,
they
yeah,
said, okay, if okay, let's use if they said they did not.
yeah,
That's why
then,
God is going to bring something else. Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah, I quite understand your analogy and also this. Yeah, but why I'm taking exception in this is that it's God.
The reason I don't want you, sorry, symbiotic, for the reason I don't want you to take exception is when it comes to religion and when it comes to religious people and atheists. When for atheism, when the moment you mention about religion, they put all logic aside. That's why, and for Christians, the moment you mention about their religion, they put every logic aside. They don't want to think, because anytime they want you to understand what they are saying. But the thing is, when you put logic aside, everything, hatred, love will take control of these two things. These two things are going to take control of man. So me, I don't read the Bible just because I'm reading. I'm reading because I want my logic to tell me something. And if I don't find logic, when you ask me any question, I said, bro, I've read it to today, I don't understand. That's why when I came here, I asked you, nobody is found guilty until the person accepts he is guilty. That's the first question. If you don't put it there, the same atheist will come and find another question for you. You can't answer because you have put logic aside. You are trying to believe God is all-knowing, so God can do God can do everything. But anytime God wants you to accept, God wants you to know that logic is part of everything. Man, you can't put logic aside. This is not science that you are going to use experimentation to prove yourself. You should know that everything that is happening, it's happening to a man. And we know that man must accept himself guilty. Because if even I've done it and I don't accept, you can't say I'm guilty. So that's why have you eaten the food? They said yes. So that time they were guilty. Then you move from there. Otherwise, you can see they can still ask you another question. You can't answer. They'll ask you another question. You can't answer. But for them, they know sometimes, I said I've been there before. You can ask questions, the Christians, they can't answer. When you go home, you say, these people, are they learning? You forget them because you think. The reason why always I say this is logic should be part of you as a believer. If you put logic aside, you can never defend your Bible. That's what I can say, because there are many things in the Bible, my brother, even me to today, I'm still finding it difficult to understand. That, but the little bit I understand is what I'm saying. So that's what I can say. Thank you, bro. If you have any question for me, I can answer.
Yeah, from your analogy, I cannot understand. Yeah, it made sense to me. But I don't have any question for you now.
Okay. Thank you, bro.
All right, Wheezy, you can move in.
Yes, good morning, house. Yeah, I think Lad Bro made a very good point. So, Mr. Symbiotic, yeah, believer, a true believer, and I'm not a biased one, okay? Don't you think I have just few questions so we can, reason it together? As an all-knowing God, do you think it is right for God to create man without giving man or even the angels an atom of or being a free moral agent? Do you think it would have been just for God to create man without choice or even the angels as an all-knowing God?
I don't think it will be fair.
Okay. Now, if God sets a standard and give man instructions on how things should be for man to be in best position in his essence as man, do you think God should be held responsible, seeing that man also have his own choice to make while a standard has been made? Do you think God should be held responsible, seeing that man is a free moral agent to choose for himself? Now, do you think God will be in fact, what will I want to look for a word that will hit the heart, like in fact an unjust God to judge man for having, in fact, to how will I put it, like to denounce man for making choice? I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Now that man, God has given man also that free choice to choose. Do you think God will be unjust not allowing man to express his choice? That's where I'm going in conclusion.
It depends on the kind of free choice that God allowed the man. Was the free choice absolute or is it relative?
Now, this is what I mean. In the garden, God gave an instruction to man. It was explicit, it was clear there. Thou shalt not eat of this fruit. And when you eat of this fruit, there was a consequence too. You shall die. All right. Now I'm saying man has man is a free moral agent, which means they can choose. Now, from what we have seen so far, do you think God is unjust if man makes choice, even in his standard? Knowing God's standard, because God also told man his standard, which is eat of these things, but this one thou shalt not eat. And when you eat of this, this is what will happen to you. Now, for man taking that choice, do you think it is God's fault or God should be held responsible? That's what I mean.
The standard we are talking about here is the standard of God, not the standard of man. So invariably, the man standard is limited. The man choice is limited. The man doesn't have an absolute choice. So he must concise his choice based on the standard that was set.
Yeah, but I don't know if you get the question. I said when man made that choice in the garden of choosing, even though man knows that God said, thou shalt not eat of this fruit, because people cannot tell me that they never knew that particular fruit when they were even eating it. They knew, they have knowledge, they know that this was actually what the master said we shouldn't eat. Now, and I'm saying, now that man has choice to choose, are we going to hold God responsible that man chose something for himself?
No, because a man also knew that choosing that means disobedience to the standard. So God is not responsible for the man's mistake in this case.
Thank you for being very honest. That's where I want to take us to. When we hear people say he's an all-knowing God, why did he? But they removed the side of choice that man made for himself. And now they are questioning God. So that is just what I want to clear here. He's an all-knowing God. Yes, I subscribe to that. Nobody can remove that. But also know that the all-knowing God created a man or an agent with free moral agent with choice. And if God also now made man without choice, it simply means that God have actually created a robot, which means I can't even do anything of my own choice. I can't even make movements. So he needs to be up to operate me like a robot, just like Elon Musk do. But thank God he's not Elon Musk. So what I'm saying in essence, the choice man have for himself, God is not responsible for that. Am I right, Symbiotic?
Yeah, you are right. But if I ask you a little question on that, because that choice, because that's where unbelievers always attack. That choice that God gave is not that free will shouldn't be called a free will, because
I don't call it free will. I call it choice or free moral agent.
okay, but they said that choice or that free moral agent is relative. So that so it's limited. It's supposed to be absolute in a sense that a man can choose or not choose or even remain neutral. So that that's the angle that they attack. That somehow I look at it, okay, God made them limited in that aspect because he gave them a limited choice.
Okay, when you say he gave them a limited choice, what do you mean? Let me understand what you mean.
Yeah, limited choice in that is the provision, is the standard that God have created that he told man, okay, you can choose from A and B. You cannot choose from A and C. So in other words, man doesn't have his own standard. Man doesn't have his own choice, so to say. So man can only choose based on the provision of choices that God have made. So
okay,
in other words, man doesn't have a choice anyway because he can only choose from what is available. He don't have his own, so his choice is not absolute.
Okay, so which means they know. Are you there? So which means we are saying that the good they know of, because once they eat the fruit, what the Bible recorded or the scripture recorded is that they knew of good and evil. Am I right?
Yeah.
So are we saying that if we should leave it, if had it been they never ate of that fruit, that the world will not, in fact, the world will not be a better place? Is that what we are saying in essence? I don't know if you get what I mean. Because now they said that they are limited. And are you saying that if they didn't eat that fruit, that the world would not be a better place? Because remember, when they never ate of the fruit, there was no record of sin. There was no record of chaos. Everywhere was good. In fact, there was a tight relationship between man and his creator until that rebellious act. So are they saying that if they never ate that fruit, the world would not be better?
No, because prior to them eating that fruit, everything was good, as you said. But that was the plan. That was the purpose that God has.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, because I want to think a little bit out of the box.
Yeah.
Had it been that God didn't outline his own purpose, that man should outline his own purpose, that man should go in his own direction outside from God. I don't know how that will happen, but I'm just thinking out of the box that the whole thing revolves about what God's standard was.
Yes. And I concur with you, which is of good. Which is of good.
Good.
That is God's standard. If you check it properly, you will see that everything he has made was good. And even the standard he gave man was also of good. Am I right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was good. Yeah. But that also means that, in a way, that is an advanced robot, a robot that has a mind of its own, if I will use that expression.
Okay.
Because then man is only thinking in the direction that God wants him to think.
Yeah. So that means what they had then was not free will. That's where you're going. Am I right?
Yeah, they had, but it wasn't absolute. It was a relative free will. It wasn't absolute because they could not set their own standards. They could not have their own direction, so to say.
Okay.
They can only walk with God in God's direction.
Okay. Now let me ask a simple question. If someone invents a car or a jet, Do the manufacturer make that car in a proper way of its standard as being the inventor? Just like maybe if a jet is meant to fly, do I have to, make a jet to run on the road just to please humans, or did I make or planes, jets, were they actually meant to fly?
The question could be, does those jets or those cars, do they have free will? Do they have choice?
Okay, now I'm bringing it into God's plan now, because when you said atheists now said that they never expressed themselves, there was no option C. It was only about A and B. So which means they couldn't express themselves, which we know that the initial plan of God is just for interaction, relationship with his creation. I don't think it passed like this. Passed like this. So every other thing we are seeing now is outside the plan, which is what man's choice have resulted to us. So if God created man and it was for his plan, then that is good. That is good, because he is the potter and he knows why he molded his own pot. So somebody coming to say, why didn't he give them option C? That is man's ideology now. If I create something, I have a reason why I create it. An outsider who thinks he has knowledge is now telling me, why did you create it this way? Don't you find that problematic?
Yeah, I will not find it problematic if you create something and then you call that in robot. That means that doesn't have a mind of its own. But if you create something and say it has a mind of its own, that it have freedom or you have a choice, then why don't you grant it an absolute choice, so that we can also see how it can be able to function on its own without your guidance or without your standard.
Okay, now let me ask you, from what you are speaking now, what do you think God would have done when it comes to free moral, or let me say when it comes to free will? What do you think would have been the best option if you were God?
Well, I don't know how it will happen, but had it been that he gave us a mind of our own, that we can actually do things from a scratch. Yeah, because when you look at the whole universe, the whole earth today, they have nothing man have invented from the scratch. Nothing. So he would have opened our mind so that we can be able to start from the scratch as he did, because he created everything from the scratch. Even he formed us from the scratch. He would have opened our mind and our brain so that we can also invent, explore our wisdom, start from the scratch.
No, I don't get it, because now you said I think from what you said so far, you said we don't have free will. So which means you are somehow corresponding that we are also like robots, because if we have A and B, it simply means we have to choose one side, which is A. It's either A or B. And once it's A, it is towards God's standard. So which means God did not elaborate man to at least have C option. So now, and I'm saying, if you were God, how would you think you would have made this thing to be better? In the best way you think you can recommend this thing if you were God? Seeing that some people are saying that there was no option C. So which means even the A was only for himself. Then B is for another person. So if you were God, how would you balance this? Are you going to invent C? And what will that C be? I just want to get your idea now. We are thinking outside the box.
Yeah. If I understand you as well, we have A and B option, and that A and B is according to God's plan, right?
Okay.
And now he created humans, and then he did not say we are robots, but rather he said we are free moral agents. So he would have allowed us, humans, to be able to start from scratch. Maybe we can also create our own standard and call it C and D. God have his own standard called A and B. Man should have created their own standard if they have that absolute free moral agent and call it C and D. And then, I don't know, maybe things would have been better. Maybe today, we would have seen things that men have created from the scratch. And then we can compare that from what God's standpoint and also from human standpoint. But since the whole thing that God created was according to his standard, A and B, so our choices are limited on these options. We can't go beyond that.
Okay. I will pause for now, host. You see, I think I'm done with him. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you too. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Wizzy Papi and Symbiotic, for that engagement exercise. We will now invite Ben Koda, place him in position to engage Symbiotic, and that will be the last person that will engage Symbiotic. After that, we'll bring this segment of the program to a close. What it means is that I will end this live, and then we'll restart the normal one that we normally do. Like I told, oh no, wonderful. I have seen the good news. I have seen the good news. Please, Darkman, we don't need to waste time on this, because when my sister is in the spirit, 805-103-8989. Please, somebody should give it to her. For those of you watching us all the way from the continent of North America, in the country of Bermuda, this is Faith Unfiltered, streaming here on TikTok. I am your host, Onyiwe Comedy. We are treating the topic about Adam and Eve, whether God set them up, and we are having the engagement session for Symbiotic. Please write it for her in the comment section, but let me communicate with her. Oh, yes, okay, indeed. Thank you very much. Ben Koda, you can now proceed with this engagement.
So, Symbiotic, please, can you give us like a short description of the Garden of Eden? Like what Adam did in the Garden of Eden, the activities Adam did, like what was going on there, according to the Bible, what was going on in the Garden of Eden? Can you give us like a brief description?
Well, according to the scripture, when Adam was created, everything was good. He have everything in abundance. He had a wonderful things, and his relationship with God was also very, very going good. The communication, there was no network problem. He could talk to God, and God could talk to him. There is no hiding. Everything was fine. He could watch the animals. He could do anything, play with the animals and walk around. There was no worries. Everything was perfect. There was a perfect setting.
Okay, very good. So in essence, you are saying that Adam had free will when he was in the garden and with his wife alone. He had freedom to do whatever he wanted, right?
Exactly, according to God's plan.
Yeah, according to God's, yes, of course, he had free will to do whatever he wanted, right?
Exactly.
Very good. Please, can you also describe what the garden would have looked like if it did not contain the fruit? Like, if hypothetically, if that garden didn't contain that fruit that God placed there that would kill man, can you describe what will be going on now? Like, hypothetically, what will be going on now in the Garden of Eden?
If God did not put that forbidden fruit, or maybe if God allowed Adam to plant his own fruit, let me put it that way, because all the fruit that was there was the fruit that God planted. Had it been Adam had the choice to plant his own fruits.
Of course, no. From what you are describing, with what you have said before, Adam had free will to do whatever he wanted. So I will say, inclusive of planting fruit, including of rearing animals, going to farmland, doing whatever you want to do, like just doing whatever man feel free to do. So man had free will. The question again is, describe what would be going on in the garden right now if that tree wasn't there. Like, if the tree wasn't there in the first place, describe what would be going on in the garden right now, hypothetically.
There's no. As a matter of fact, that was God's plan. That was God's plan.
No.
Because those plans have been there. Those plans have been there.
No. You are running from the question.
Good. Okay, okay. If those
the tree wasn't there, the tree of death or the tree of the knowledge of good or evil wasn't there, if it was removed from that garden, what will be going on in the garden right now? I'm not saying that God's
okay,
plan
there will be no okay, there will be no sin. There will be no Adam wouldn't have fallen.
Very good.
That forbidden fruit was not there, so he wouldn't have fallen.
No, Adam wouldn't have fallen, right?
Yeah.
You agree with me? Adam wouldn't have fallen. That means the relationship between God and man will continue for infinity, right?
Exactly.
Very good. Now let me bring you to the third question. So hypothetically, you are saying if God did not plant that fruit at all, if it wasn't in the picture in the first place, Adam had free will, right? Because of course we know the activities that God gave man was, look at animals, all these animals here, you can have fun with them, create give them whatever name you want, right? There's mango, there's orange, you can. So Adam clearly had free will. Adam clearly had free will at the time. You cannot say Adam was a robot at the time when God, when he did not eat the food. So he had free will to do everything in the glory of God, like everything God wanted, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Very good. So is it possible that God would have not created that fruit? Is it like, can you think about a hypothetical situation where God would have not created that fruit?
You mean the forbidden fruit or
Yes,
other fruit?
the forbidden fruit.
Yeah, because if God didn't create that fruit, it then means
Mm.
Adam wouldn't have fallen. Adam wouldn't have fallen because
Very good.
God created that fruit in order to test Adam.
Very good. So for an all-knowing God, that saw that his relationship with man will bluster forever, man will have infinite amount of children that would live with him forever, entertained, having fun, be peaceful, be loving, name all the animals, grow, build houses, do everything in this life. For an all-knowing God that knew man, we are assuming God knew now, because you cannot say, or are you trying to say God did not know Adam was going to eat the food? Like it was not in the option at all.
Well, God knew.
Okay,
God knows,
okay. So for an all-knowing God, we know for a fact, me and you have agreed that God, there are plenty things man could be doing in the garden, right? We have
yes,
agreed.
of course.
There are plenty things, but God knew that man was going to eat that fruit, and He still put it there, right? Is putting something not a deliberate action? Like if you take your, like if you carry your phone now from your table and move it to your desk, is it not a deliberate action?
Well, it's a deliberate action, but in this scenario with Adam and Eve, with Adam, so it was a deliberate action.
God deliberately put the fruit there. He deliberately, you cannot twist your word. He deliberately put it. He knew that Adam was going to eat it, and he deliberately put it there. Right?
Yeah, he deliberately put it there, yeah. Exactly.
And he knew that this creation that I am creating is going to eat this thing. So it's a deliberate of two actions. You are creating a tree deliberately, and you are creating man that was going to eat this food deliberately, right?
Yeah, but does Adam have other options? Was that the only tree that was there?
Very good, very good. Does Adam have other option? First of all, we have agreed that there is a possibility that God could have not put that fruit there. If He wanted man's relationship with him to bluster now, there's a possibility. So putting that fruit there was very deliberate. It was, we have ascertained that fact now.
Yeah, now, also hold on. And also we also agreed, we come into harmony that Adam has a choice, he has a free will.
Very good. Very
so,
good.
So hold on. So if God have made everything good, and then He eliminated that fruit. Hold on, bro.
He made everything good except that tree. Except the tree.
Good. I'm still landing. Okay. Yeah, you have your time to talk. So God have made everything good. Everything was fine, and then He put that forbidden tree there. So had it been that God eliminated that tree, it then means man doesn't have any other choice. He would have just flowed with God's with God's arrangement. So more or less, man would have become like a robot, even more.
No.
Robot, because everything was good.
What you have agreed with me was that man wasn't a robot. Man had a plethora of activities to do in the garden. So he was obviously not a robot. Or are you saying that it was the fruit that unlocked man to be a robot? Are you saying like man was a robot before he ate the fruit, and after he ate the fruit, he then not become a robot? Is that what you're trying to imply by your discussion?
No. No,
So
no,
what
what,
what
no,
made
no,
man?
no,
What
no. What
made
I'm
man?
saying is that
Huh?
no. What I'm saying was that if God have made everything good, man would have flowed with that goodness. He wouldn't have,
Exactly.
yeah, he wouldn't have looked at the other side,
Exactly. Exactly.
and
So
that
it
would
was a
have,
deliberate.
and that would have called, and that would have been more or less a robot because he would just
No, no,
flow. Man
no.
would have just
We've
flown.
both agreed that
You are interjecting a
we
lot.
have
But go
both
ahead.
no, no. You cannot go back to your word. We have both agreed that man wasn't a robot before he ate the fruit. You cannot go back to your words now. Man wasn't a robot before he ate the fruit. You cannot say man wasn't a robot. Then you now say because man did not eat the fruit, he's a robot. You are interrupting. You are scattering your own arguments now.
Allow me to land. Allow me to land
No, you are
because
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
because we are just going in a circle and then without hitting the nail. Yeah. So I'm telling you that if God have made everything good and everything was perfect, and then man would have flowed with that sequence. He would have gone with that flow, like you wouldn't have looking another side. And more or less, that would have been like an automatic system that have set in motion. So man would have become more robot because he has no choice. He has no other things to do. Of course, there's no
No,
person that will see a good thing that will just deviate from it. He would have flowed
no.
with that sequence.
No. Are you wait again? Are you trying to say it was eating the fruit that made man a robot? Because we have both agreed that man wasn't a robot before he eats the fruit. You
I
cannot say
agree with you.
it,
I
you
agree
cannot
with
say
you.
you cannot say the system is all automatic. When man had options to eat other fruits, man had options to name plants, name animals. You cannot say man is a robot now. You cannot say that. So there's a possibility that God would have not created that, but it was a very deliberate action. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you another question. Let's say you're a teacher now. It's a very thing. You give a multi-choice question, A, B, C, and you know people that will choose D will die. A, B, C, D, E, F. And you know people that choose D as option D will die, right? Is it not deliberate for you to put that D, or won't it be a deliberate action for you to omit that D? But you put that in there, knowing people will eat that thing. So why are you acting as though it was a robot's decision if D did not exist? Because, of course, man had other option. It was a very deliberate action. And you are saying you already have foreseen that God knew man was going to eat this thing. So why are you removing that the deliberate, that this was a setup? You understand? This was simply a setup because God put that thing deliberately there for man to eat it. So it was clearly, so if you don't want to set up an environment, right? Let's say you don't want to, for example, just like the example I gave, it's not a setup. A setup wouldn't be the option where option D existed. Man still had other options, A, B, C, K, like you have. So man wasn't a robot. And if you go back and say the reason why God put that in is so that man would not be a robot, you are denying the fact that there are other fruits in that garden, that man wasn't eating fruit at all. But man was eating fruit. So it's not a robot system. I want to hear what you want to say, please.
We have established that.
No, we are not. We have not established it because you keep going back to say man was a robot. Meanwhile, man has other option.
Are you done?
Okay, tell me what we have established. Tell me what we have established.
Good. We established that man has a free will. Man has a choice, right? In the Garden of Eden, there are variations of things to eat and things to do. Man has a choice, right? Good. And then you come with the analogy that had it been that forbidden fruit was not there, what man would have done. So I'm trying to let you know that everything was good. Man would have flowed with that sequence. It would have been more or less like an automatic function, like a robot function. But because that forbidden fruit was there, then that tests man's ability. Man wanted to try something out of the box to see how it functions. So, and even the free will that we have is a limited free will. It's a relative free will. That free will flows with all of God's arrangement because God is all-knowing and He knows that if we follow His arrangement, everything will be good according to His precision and also according to His purpose. So, and that's what the Creator wants for humans. But humans, as Adam was, didn't have an absolute free will. So if God wanted humans to walk on their own, direct their steps and also make their own, He would have given them an absolute free will for them to do things on their own. Maybe start from a scratch.
So,
Maybe
so wait, because you've been talking for like 3 minutes now. So, are you saying God did not give man? It wouldn't have been free will if that fruit did not exist there. It wouldn't have been free will at all if that fruit did not exist there. Or what kind of free will are you going to say if that fruit did not exist there? Is it a fake free will or a China AliExpress free will? Will it be Temu free will? Because you are describing free will as if that fruit has to be there to necessitate free will. A, B, C, D, E, F, right? You still have options to use A, B, C, D, E. You cannot say it is not free. It is not free will if you don't put F there. So, are you trying to say man did not have free will if he had only A, B, C, D, omitting F? Because when you try to define free will and you try to make it as though putting that fruit necessitates free will, that is not what the Bible says. The Bible says God gave man the right to name everything. So man has, as if God was fellowshipping with man, God was coming to see man every day. So man has free will. And you're trying to argue that it is that tree that now authoritates the free will. It is that tree there that makes the free will now original because man has that option. Are you refuting that there are other options that man has? I don't understand how you are trying to say that it is the tree, because that is what you are insinuating for your argument. It is that tree that made it free will, forgetting that man had other trees to eat from. In fact, in that garden, there was the tree of eternal life. There was the tree of eternal life. So are you trying to say it is that tree of death or the tree of knowledge of good and evil that necessitates free will?
that's not what I said. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where. I
No,
don't know where
no,
you get
because
that.
because
I don't know where you get
that
that.
is what you are insinuating when you say God has to put that free will there to test man so that the system will not be an automatic system that flows through God's purpose. Because God's purpose, according to how Christians agree, was for man to stay with him forever, right? So that tree that he put there, the tree that he put there, it was a very deliberate action. And you cannot say putting that tree there,
All right, Ben Koda,
cancels the free will.
Ben Koda, don't worry. You guys have engaged for 15 minutes. That is the much time we will take on that engagement. I'm just going to give JD 5 minutes to engage with Symbiotic, and I will bring this program to a close and restart the program. Don't forget that we are broadcasting for Fresh TV Bermuda, so people in the country of Bermuda will watch this show on TV, and also those in North America as well. So thank you very much for all of you that tuned in. JD, can you please introduce yourself? I want to know where you're joining us from and if you're a believer or an unbeliever. That is the normal thing we do on this show. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm joining you from London. I was a believer. I'm not a believer anymore.
All right, thank you very much. Now I will give you your time to engage with Symbiotic. Go ahead. You have 10 minutes.
Thanks a lot. I just want to understand if God is all knowing, and I believe He knows you according to the Bible before He created you in your mother's stomach, if I'm quoting the Bible clearly, and He knows how you're gonna fall at the end of the day, which means He has everything outlined already about your life before you existed. He knows where does your free will make sense in all of this? Symbiotic.
Sir. Thank you very much. You are speaking from the angle that God knows everything, and then He have already predestined our life, a kind of regardless of what we do, we're gonna end up whatever that God proposed with us. Is that what you're saying?
Is that not the case?
Sorry?
Is that not the case?
No. No, that's not the case
So,
because
that's okay. That's okay. I know it's enough. If you're saying that's not the case, are you trying to say free will is stronger than what God knows already?
no, free will is the ability. Of course, we don't have an absolute free will. We have relative free will. That means we can make small decisions and simple decisions that governs our life. So in that way, there are decisions that we can make, and many times we can make wrong decisions that has consequences, of which God has no control over it. For example, this morning, nobody tells you when to wake up. You wake up. Nobody tells you to go and brush your teeth, or maybe when time to wake. Those are decisions you make on your own. Nobody coerces you to do that. So that's the free will you have to do. But if you make a wrong decision, there are consequences for that. So God is not the one that push you or maybe force you to make a wrong decision.
So are the decisions that you're gonna make tomorrow known by God?
Well, he may know. There
No,
could
no,
be the
no. May,
possibility.
may is not an answer. May no is not an answer. Does he know about them or not?
Okay, he
That's
knows. He
because I
knows.
know I know that you don't know how your day is gonna come out tomorrow,
Yeah,
but God
definitely.
knows, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly. Yeah.
He knows every decision that you're gonna make. He knows every choice that you're gonna choose.
Okay. Yeah, he knows. Yeah. Yeah.
Does
If
he
you put
know
it that
that?
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is where my problem comes in, because your free will that you are trying to insinuate here doesn't really change what God already knows.
Yeah, but it's not God that is deciding for you. That He knows that perhaps you're gonna maybe go to the shopping mall tomorrow to do some shopping. He's not the one stopping you to do that. He's not the one taking you to do that. He knows for knowledge's sake. But it's you that make the decision if you want to go to the shopping mall or you don't want to go.
So in that case, do you believe that when the Bible says God is all good and do you believe that statement?
Yeah,
Or do you
definitely, yeah.
believe that claim?
Yeah.
If God is all knowing and is all good, do you think he could do something about your bad choices that are gonna come tomorrow?
Yeah, he can do that. He can warn you. He can.
No, not about warning. He knows that you are going to fall,
Yeah. So
and he
yes.
knows. If he knows already, then can he do something about it?
Yeah, he can do something, and he has been doing something about it. Yeah, you know. Or when you look at this our ecosystem, there is a lot of debris that could have collapsed in the air and then unalive humans. God has been
No,
keeping those. Yeah,
at,
God
at,
has been keeping those things away from us so that we can live. That is a way of one way He's protecting us.
for a good God and all-knowing God, I don't believe that is enough, because talking about doing something about it, I'm suggesting he wouldn't have created the misery that he brought on earth, which is the devil. You understand what I mean? Because he knew
He didn't create the devil. The devil
he
caused
didn't
himself.
he didn't create the devil.
No, he didn't create the devil. The devil became himself.
So the devil is a creator.
No. The devil, God created an angel, but that
Yeah.
angel turned to be a rebel, and he became Satan. He became the devil.
Can you tell me where the spirit of rebellion came from?
He came from the devil.
So the
Rebellion came
devil is
from the devil.
the devil create, because we can agree that it's God who created the good, right? Which is
Yeah,
the spirit of goodness, whatever you can call it.
definitely. Yeah.
I want to understand, where was it the spirit of bad or evil came from?
Yeah, this spirit of bad and evil come as a result of rebellion from this same guy called angel. God created a Lucifer, very beautiful angel, but because he was envious, he was jealous of the kind of worship and praise that come to God. He wanted to ascribe that to himself. That's where that rebellion come from, and then he challenged God's integrity, God's purpose. That
So what
humans
you're
are.
yeah, okay, sorry. What you're trying to tell me is that the devil created the spirit of envy and jealousy.
That spirit came to that angel So God did not create a Satan or maybe the
Yeah,
devil.
where did the spirit come from to attack the angel? Because the angel, according to the Bible, Satan was created perfectly, so he didn't have any fault. He didn't have anything wrong with him. He had nothing wrong with him. He was perfect.
Yeah, he was perfect, yeah, but he also have a mind of his own. So he started to think differently, not in alignment with God's purpose.
I think you are contradicting the Bible in a way, because I don't believe. Do angels have free will?
Of course, they have.
They do.
They do, yeah.
Is that what your Bible said?
Yeah. Yes, angels have free will, just like humans have a free will.
Okay. I cannot really argue with you on that. But I want to know, even that, let's not. I urge people not to take this as simple as it looks like, because we have a lot of things going into this world whereby people are really suffering. We have war, we have famine, we have diseases, whatever all the kind of atrocities that are happening. The problem comes in when believers believe there is some entities in the sky that is capable of ending all these atrocities, and he isn't doing anything about it. And yet, some people, I'm not saying all, are convincing others that, okay, you can believe in this because at the end of the day, you are going to have an eternal life. That is a problem to me, because if this God was all knowing, when he was creating this angel, perfect angel, that he knows that this angel is gonna turn into something that is gonna make the world as turn into this misery, then in my opinion, this is not a good God. And the concept of free will to me doesn't exist when God already knows before he created you that you are going to fail, literally going to fail, and you are going to end up in hell. He knows, despite what you are going to choose unknowingly, not knowing that tomorrow you're going to wake up and you're going to do what. He knows already your choices, and he knows how you're going to end. He knows what is going to kill you. He knows what is going to make you fall, and he knows you are going to heaven or you are going to hell. Unless you are saying God is not all-knowing, and maybe your choices are stronger than God's all-knowing features.
Okay. Do you believe that the humans have a free will?
That is my argument. I don't believe free will exists.
Okay. Yeah, but God would have, if He want everything to for humans to do everything as He wants, He would have created us as robots, and nobody will question that. Nobody will question that. But He created us with choices that we can make. That's why I can decide to do, even though I know that this is what is right, I can decide to do the opposite. And the only thing is that I will face the consequences. So, but God would have created me in a way that I only have the mind to do the good things. I have the mind to do the things that is aligned with His purpose.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done, please.
Does God want a perfect world or not?
That is His purpose. That is His ultimate purpose. And He's
It's his
working towards
ultimate
that.
purpose, yeah?
Definitely, and He's working towards that.
To have a good world.
A global world. Have you heard about the word paradise before?
All right, my dear friends, that is the much we are going to take on that engagement exercise. The reason why we have to bring this engagement to a successful close is simple. It is to enable them to download this content. The program is supposed to stream just 1 hour for them, and then they should be able to just download it easily from TikTok and air it on Fresh TV Bermuda. Thank you so much. I want to thank all those who joined us for the first time. Please, I'm just going to end this program and start it again, and then we will now continue with our 15-hour streaming. But so far we have done 2 hours 22 minutes today, so we'll just minus the 15 hours of our daily streaming from it and continue the show with the same topic so that others can reinforce and participate in the program. Remember that this is Faith Unfiltered, and I'm your host, Oniwe Comedy, saying goodbye and hello to all of you in Bermuda and in North America. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, host. See